Can you describe to me a bit of what it was like, the pressures, the fear you must have felt at all times, and especially for your family?
I admit that there were points and there were times that I moved around actually afraid within. Also,
when your house was bombed, certainly.
Well, by that time I had had a deep religious experience. I was prepared for that, strangely enough, because...
Prepared for a bombing, Dr. King?
I was prepared for almost anything that occurred. I had come to feel at that time that in the struggle, God was with me. And through this deep religious experience, I was able to endure and face anything that came my way. Now, I think that still stands with me. After a long process of really giving my whole life to a religious way and to the will of God, I came to feel that as we struggled together, we had cosmic companionship. Of course, my wife was always stronger than I was through the struggle, so I didn't have the problem of having a wife who was afraid and trying to run from the situation. And that was a great help in all of the difficulties that I confronted.
Dr. King, what do you see ahead, I mean, in the future pattern of race relations in the United States?
Well, I'm quite hopeful about the future pattern of race relations. I realize that there will be difficulties, and the reactionaries of the white South will make it more difficult in order to get to this goal of integration. But I think there are other things at work which will defeat all barriers in the long run. For instance, that is increasing industrialization and concomitant urbanization. These things will inevitably undermine the folk ways of white supremacy. The white South, for many persons, young white men, are good businessmen, and they see that bigotry is a very costly thing. I think also the Christian church will be forced to continue to take a strong stand and urge its members to match profession with practice, and also the determination of the Negro himself to achieve freedom will be one of the greatest forces to bring about integration, and the rolling tide of world opinion will force the federal government to take even a stronger stand. So that I'm quite optimistic about it. I think we live in one of the most momentous periods of human history. These are great days to be alive. And I feel that before the turn of the century, segregation on the basis of race will be non-existent.